It is a truth universally known that as soon as you hit record on your camera, loads of cars will go by, or a million people will stop outside your house and start having a natter. Hello my lovelies, welcome to my channel and I hope you've had a really fabulous week. Today I have very naughtily purchased some fabrics despite shopping my stash the other week and having loads of fabric that I can do lovely things with. There were a few specific fabrics that I needed and I want to share those with you today. I also have a little bit of a life update, or a couple of life updates for you, for those of you who would like to know about them, and some very exciting news. So at the end of the video I'm going to be just having a little chat with you, and at the beginning I'm going to show you my naughty fabric purchases. First three fabrics are for something very specific. Now if you watched my week of sewing video, which I shall link, add cards, etc., you will have seen a dress that I was making, and a lot of you gave me such lovely feedback about it, and you said that it would be a nice blouse. So this is something that I'm working on to launch. Initially I wanted to do it sort of now, but I'm not going to get it done, what with things that have been going on behind the scenes, which I'll share later with you. So I am working on having dress patterns, garment patterns, alongside my sewing guides and my accessories that I love to do. So these are for a blouse and dress, which is all to be revealed at some point in the not too distant future, and that's something that I want to do for 2022. Is that next year? I think that's next year. I can't do time, I have no idea. So these fabrics are for that, and you can see a cat here, just here, this Loki sitting here enjoying the sunshine. So the first fabric that I have is this very beautiful Liberty Tana lawn. I have a couple of meters of this and I bought it in the sale. I'm not sure if it's still available, but I'll try to, obviously I'll try to link everything that I can, and if it's available, it's available. If not, apologies. I'm attempting to stick to a particular colour palette to make my wardrobe really cohesive, so that even though it's not necessarily a capsule wardrobe, it still works as a capsule because all the colours interlink. This is the plan. Whether this happens or not is another matter, but this very, very pretty Liberty print Tana lawn is going to make a blouse version of this pattern. So I'm really looking forward to that, and it will go really beautifully with my 1940s vintage high-waisted trousers. The next fabric I got from my favourite little sewing shop, which is Jacob's Haberdashery, which is just in my local town, and it's this wonderful leopard print. As we know, leopard is a neutral, and it's a poly viscose blend, I think, or I mean I try not to buy polyester, but I just absolutely love this. It's lovely and drapey, it's got like a heavy drape to it, and I was inspired to make a dress version of my new dress pattern because I follow the model Kristen McNenemy on Instagram, and her account is really fab and inspiring and fun. This picture here, and I just thought I have to make a leopard print dress. That is gonna make me feel all sorts of goodness. So that is going to be that, and all of these will be made and ready to launch, I think, in the new year now, in reality. And then I got this lovely viscose from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn. It's a jacquard, which is a type of weaving loom, which incidentally is how computer programming was invented. It was inspired by the jacquard loom by Charles Babbage and Ada Lovelace, who was the daughter of Lord Byron. And there's a little bit of a clue in the name of that lovely lady because I'm a bit obsessed with her. So we have this lovely undrapey. Now I bought, I think, 3 meters of this, and it was in their sale. It was about £4-ish a metre. It's really beautiful. And I bought it intending to do a, so I keep looking at the fabric because, love it. I bought it intending to make some kind of tea dress. But actually, I think I'm going to make a blouse version of this, because there's a couple of versions of the blouse with like different neckline details. So I'm going to do the Liberty print one version, and then this one the other version. And because I don't think there's quite enough to do a dress version of it, that I'm going to do in the leopard print. So we'll see. So if I have enough fabric here to do the dress, I'll do the dress. But I think it's probably 3.5 to 4 meters for the dress. So I may not have just quite enough. So yeah, should have ordered a little bit more, but never mind. The next fabric is also from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn. It's not 100% in my colour palette, but it sort of is. It's just got a bit more blue in it than I was sort of intending to add into my colour palette. But I've had my eye on this fabric for a while, and it's really beautiful. I only got 2 meters of it. It's a viscose, and it was about £8 a metre. It wasn't in their sale. I'm going to be making a tea dress with this, a 1930s, 40s inspired tea dress. And it's one that I used to do as a bridesmaid's and wedding dress, actually, called the Anna dress, named for a lovely friend of mine. And I'm going to be doing a long sleeve version of that, because I think I can get that out of the 2 meters. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. And you know, maybe it's a little bit springy in colour palette, I don't know, but I think it would be nice on those sort of grey days. My final fabric is probably not going to look that exciting on screen, but in my wardrobe audit, one of the takeaways was that I wanted to make versions of things in black. So Minerva were having a little sale, and my favourite, most worn garment is my full circle skirt, and it's a cotton sateen. So I found this black cotton sateen on sale. It's looking quite interesting, more interesting than I thought it would on screen. And I think this was about £4 a metre in the sale. It was half price, and it's, you know, not terribly thick. So I got 5 meters of this. I have a few projects that I want to do with this. So one of them shouldn't take much more than 1.5 meters of fabric, and it's for an October video, and it's a costuming video, so I don't want to reveal too much because I want it to be a surprise. And then I also would like to make a Deighton skirt in this, just like one of my pleat front pencil skirts, because I know that I will wear that every single day. And then I would also like, if there is enough fabric here, I mean there should be, to make another one of these Vampire's Wife inspired dresses. But I want to do some embroidery on it, so some themed embroidery on it. So that's my plan for this. So that's hopefully three items in this really I mean, it's really lovely actually, cotton sateen. So for a few updates and a little chat now, those of you who are really not interested, I really appreciate that you have been interested in the fabric, and I hope you've enjoyed that. But for those of you who want to stick around, I'm going to share some life updates and some news now. My lovely cat Loki, who always makes such wonderful little guest appearances in my videos, has been really poorly, and that's been a huge worry. It's been touch and go. He is responding to his medicine and seems a bit better in himself, but he's no way near 100%. So if you could send light and healing love his way, that would be so appreciated, because I don't really know what I'd do without him. He is, I think, the love of my life. Very excitingly, at the end of October, my daughter turns 21, which is absolutely bonkers, and she is moving out, potentially, hopefully, fingers crossed. I sound really mean now. But what that means is that the room that is her bedroom, which is right at the top of my house, I live in a 4-storey cottage, and the attic is her bedroom, and I will be turning that into my sewing room, which is so exciting, because at the moment my sewing room is basically my dining room, and it was my bridal studio. So I've not really had a normal home as such, because one of the main rooms has always been dedicated to what I do for a living. So I'm going to be moving all of that up to the top of the house and decorating and Halloween cleaning my house, because I think what better time to do it, all ready to have an amazing winter season and get all snuggly and hibernate and have things all cozy in my little cottage by the sea. So that's really exciting, and hopefully I'll be able to share a bit of that process with you. If you're interested, you may not be. As I will be moving my life around a bit, and it's a little bit of a transition moment, just in time for the transition of the seasons, so the universe is doing its timing well here. I am going to be taking part in Vlogtober, which I'm really excited about. I've planned some amazing videos and content which I really hope that you'll enjoy. There's going to be a lot more of my cottage by the sea, a lot of projects. There's some amazing stuff going on in Hastings that I want to share with you. So although it's not necessarily sewing related, I think those of you who really enjoy my channel and what I'm all about will really enjoy spending some time in some Halloween festivities with me, and we shall see how that goes. So I'm aiming to do a sort of a Vlogtober video weekly throughout October, sort of like the week for sewing video, but just the Vlogtober video. There's going to be lots of little projects, lots of ideas. I've got lots of work on as well, so I'm going to be doing lots of sewing, and I'm going to take you along for that. And also at the same time I'm working on videos, sort of online classes really, and putting those together. And I'm going to be, once I'm in my sewing room at the top of the house, I can set everything up, and I'm going to be forging ahead with all of that, plus launching garment patterns for the new year. So it is full on, and I would love it if you keep me company in all of my crazy, busy, wonderful days of sewing in my little cottage by the sea. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and once again, I'm ever grateful for all your kindness and support, and it really does mean the world to me. Those of you who are new here and have watched to the end through all my sad news and bad news and good news, please do subscribe. If vintage inspired sewing and DIY style is your cup of tea, then I would love it if you hung around and shared my sewing journey with me. Remember, we can make this world a better place one stitch at a time, and I shall see you next week for the start of Vlogtober, and basically the best time of the entire year. Take care, my lovelies. See you soon. Bye.